do.
Why, you old buzzard, it would do you good to listen to some sound advice once in your life. You're too cantankerous.
Remember, Josh, you're not a spring chicken anymore.
You flirt with death if you go back there now.
Ain't you going to give me a piece of your mind, too, Bill?
I was just getting ready to, Joshua.
I'll go ahead.
I agree with my rangers and the doctor. You'd be endangering your own life if you went out in the desert again. But there's more to it than that.
What do you mean?
I mean, you ought to start enjoying life a little. Mix in with people more.
No, I like prospecting too much to be bothered with people.
Gold won't buy your life back if you lost it, Joshua.
I ain't afraid to die, young man. When the good Lord's ready to call me home, I'm ready.
Well, that's good, but think of the things in life that you've missed, that every human being enjoys. You've got enough money from your last strike to tide you over for the rest of your life.
That's right.
Why, sure, Josh. You and me could go hunting and fishing together. We could set a spell over in Mark's store and talk with the boys of an evening.
And now you got me thinking that I might like staying in town.
Well, why not give it a try for a while?
Well, I might, but I ain't got no place to stay.
Why, you old walrus, you can stay at my place just as long as you please. Ain't nothing fancy, but it's homey.
Thanks, Stumpy. I think I'll take you up on that and try civilized life for a while.
Then you're definitely going to give up prospecting for gold in the desert, Joshua?
In the desert?
Well, yes.
Well, Bill, you know there's gold in more places than the desert.
Oh, sure. Well, Josh, it's come down to this then. Are you going to give up prospecting, or aren't you?
Yep, I am going to give it up. From now on, I'm going to enjoy life.
Josh, put it there. You've made a good decision. Fellas, we'll have to get packed as fast as we can. Tom says the Scotch pine up at the North Forks have been hit by a strange new disease. They're wasting away.
That beautiful stand worth much money.
That's right. We can't afford to lose either the beauty or the money. Ralph, you finish packing the burros. I'm going back to the office and get the portable lamp. We've got to make a thorough study of this new disease.
Okay, burros will be ready by the time you get back. Hey, Grey Wolf, give me a hand with this diamond hitch, will you?
Sure thing.
Hey, somebody's coming in a big hurry.
Plenty quick. Hey, it's Stumpy.
Oh, nearly! Whoa there! What's wrong, Stumpy? Why all the hurry? I rode over to tell you about Josh. He ain't been home for 2 days. Well, why didn't you tell us sooner, old-timer? Well, I didn't think much about it, Bill. The first night, he could have stayed at Mark Dagger's house, but when he didn't come home last night, I begun to get worried.
Do you think he's gone back on his promise, Bill?
I don't know, Ralph. Did he give you any reason to believe he might go back out in the desert, Stumpy? You can't say he did, sonny. Nope, nary a hint.
What we do now, Bill?
Well, we're going out on the trail anyway. Let's stop at Mark's store and find out if Joshua bought supplies. If he did, the Scotch pine will have to wait until we find him. He's certainly in no condition to make a prospecting trip.
I'm sorry I can't help you, Bill. Old Joshua didn't buy supplies for me, nor has he been staying here.
You wouldn't be covering up for the old desert rat because he broke his promise to me, would you, Mark?
Of course I wouldn't. It might cost Joshua his life if it did. I agree with you and the doc. Joshua's prospecting days are over. His heart being what it is.
Maybe he got his supplies from some other store in town, Bill.
Yes, Ralph, he could easily have done that. Let's spread out and ask all the stores if they've seen the old gent. Report back here in 2 hours.
No, I haven't seen Joshua Webb, Stumpy. Sorry.
Hey, Joshua didn't buy supplies for me, Bill.
Joshua ain't been in my store for a coon's age, Ralph.
Grey Wolf, he hasn't been near here for 6 months.
Yes, Joshua was here, Bill. He bought himself some grub in the burrow. Also some prospecting tools. He was muttering something about he couldn't sit around and do nothing all the time.
And that's what I was afraid of. Thanks, Barry. Come on, boys. We're going after Joshua. You mean out on the desert this time of year? Stumpy, you don't mean that. We're going to get Joshua before the desert gets him. You understand, I'm not holding back, but with 100 miles of hot sand out there, it's going to be mighty rugged.
I bet you could fry a steak in my saddle horn. Oh, this is terrible. How could Josh stand this year in and year out?
I don't know, Ralph. I think you have to be made of rubber and rawhide. Well, let's rest a minute, fellas. Whoa, Storm. Oh, boy.
Oh, now.
Thank the Lord, it's only a couple of more hours until sundown. You better wet our horses and burros' mouths, huh?
Good. Me take water bag and help Ralph.
Yeah, hold this pan, will you, Grey Wolf?
Now, don't you fellas take any more than that, either. It's better to drink more water at night to catch up on the dehydration that takes place during the day.
How do these old desert rats stand this heat? I don't even care to keep my eyes open. It's so hot.
120 degrees. No wonder Josh looked like prune.
Okay, let's push on, fellas. A high wind could come up and wipe out Joshua's trail. Let's follow it while we can. Sand in my teeth, sand in my ears, sand in my eyes, and sand in my food and water. Why didn't Josh stay home instead of coming out here like an old fool?
What's the use of complaining, Stumpy? Got a job to do. Let's do it. I'm sure glad for sundown, though. After 3 days in this heat, it starts to wear on you.
Not only on us, Ralph, but on the animals, too. Better all get some sleep. I want to push on as soon as the moon comes up. Let's shake a leg, fellas. We want to gain time before it gets too hot. Hey, that's a rattlesnake. Who wants the horses and burros? I'll get him.
Hold on.
Ralph, those water bottles. Watch them.
Get that snake before we lose horses.
Yeah.
Bill,
The horses have kicked the water bottles in.
Oh, no. How many bags were damaged, Ralph?
All of them.
And the only water we have is what's in our canteens?
That's right.
That's very bad.
Yeah. Well, let's get the horses and burros and be on our way. Here, Storm.
I guess best thing to do is go ahead, Bill.
Yes, Grey Wolf. There must be water somewhere close to Joshua's prospecting grounds. Yeah, but we don't know where that is. I'm beginning to have a notion as to the place. But we'll keep following the trail. Right now, it'd be more dangerous to go back than to go on.
How far we must go to trail, Joshua? You must stop someplace and dig.
Keep following the trail, Grey Wolf.
Bill, can't we have just a little water for ourselves?
Ralph, use your head. There's only a quarter of a canteen left. We must keep that for the horses. Even the burros will have to wait.
Far we go, Bill. Maybe we follow wrong trail.
I don't figure Josh would have come all this way. Stumpy, let me tell you something. Remember when Josh told me all the gold wasn't in the desert? Huh? Yes.
I remember.
To me, that means only one place. Lonesome Mountain. There's water there. There's gotta be.
And what if you're wrong, Bill?
It'll be my last mistake. There's the mountain up ahead, fellas. There's a piece of Joshua's gear, fellas. We're on the right track.
Yes, but how much further? I can't go on.
You've got to, Ralph. One more day should do it. We'll leave the burros here, all our gear. Travel as light as possible. Let's go while we can. I can't...
Don't talk, Bill. We go on, like you say. Nobody talk. Just ride until the horses drop, and then walk, and then crawl.
You can always die when you can't do nothing else. Water! The horses smell water!
Luxury. I could stand here all day and pour this cool water over my head.
And ruin your $10 shirt.
Oh, I not care.
Oh,
Worth my life.
Fellas, look over by that flat rock. There's a man's hand. Poor Josh. With water 100 feet away, he lay down and died.
Here is note. And some gold nuggets.
What's he say, Bill?
Well, he says, Bill Jefferson, I know you were following. My heart gave out. All the gold in the world wouldn't buy me water when I needed it. Not sorry dying this way. Bury me on Lonesome. That's as far as he got. Well, he went just the way he wanted to go. Out on the desert and the mountains, looking for gold. Ralph, Grey Wolf, get the burros and the gear. When you get back, we'll have a little service for Joshua Webb, just before we bury him.
Do you think it was the gold fever made Josh break his promise?
Nope, I don't. I've got a notion Joshua knew his time was near, and all he wanted to do was go across the desert and up into Lonesome Mountain to meet the Lord.
Well, I guess that's the story, boys and girls. The story of Joshua Webb, desert rat, who just wouldn't stay where he was put. Well, we'll see you next week for more adventure with Ranger Bill!
Ranger Bill, warrior of the woodland.
Ranger Bill, warrior of the woodland, struggling against extreme odds, traveling dangerous trails, fighting the many enemies of nature. This is the job of the guardian of the forest, Ranger Bill. Pouring rain, freezing cold, blistering heat, snow, floods, bears, rattlesnakes, mountain lions. Yes, all this in exchange for the satisfaction and pride of a job well done. Boys and girls, have you ever been in a submarine? Or have you ever gotten inside a diver suit and gone down into the depths of the sea? I suppose not. After all, most of us are landlubbers, lake sailors at the best. But what would you do if you knew that a submarine was stuck at the bottom of the ocean, and meanwhile the crew was suffocating? Why, you'd try to get them out, of course. But the big question would be how to do it.